Okay, good evening. Hello, my name is Cheryl Muller, and I am finally back here in 2024, and we are having our product calls. I love to do that because it just gives everyone a little bit of information about products. You can send these videos to customers, but it's good for us to have different product knowledge. And it's funny because I was talking with one of my friends today, and I said, I could probably make this call about 1 minute long. Okay. Take balance to reduce your carbs and help you maintain your weight. And there you have it. But I will go into a little bit more detail, okay? And sometimes I geek out, and that doesn't mean that you have to know it. It just means I'm trying to give you the background on it so you'll remember that maybe when talking with someone, or if you say, it helps in blocking, two enzymes, and someone says, "What are those two enzymes?" You'll at least have heard it or something, or you'll go and look in the information sheet. And that's the other thing, is that I just love researching products and just knowing the details about them. Everything that I get comes from our information sheets, videos, discussions that sometimes Diamonds will have with Dr. Hartman about the products. So it's nothing new under the sun. I'm just sharing with you. And sometimes it's kind of just nice to have a conversation instead of just reading a worksheet. Okay. So I'm going to kind of talk a little bit about our blood sugar, okay, because that is really relevant to balance. Now, balance is something that became very popular within Plexus, okay? Even though we had had it around, it's been around for a while, but that in combination with our Slim HC, or it's called hunger control, just gained a lot of notoriety because of the way the two of them work together. And we sold out of Balance in 2 weeks, what we normally sell in 5.5 months at the end of 2023. So it was a little crazy, but I think it just brought to light, kind of like the Stanley Cup has been around for years, and now all of a sudden everybody wants it. It's just a product that we've had, and now everyone is recognizing its value. So blood sugar, or what we call glucose, is the main sugar that is found in our blood. Okay, it comes from the food that we eat, and it is our main source of energy, right, for our body. So the blood carries the sugar to all of our cells. We want energy, but we want to make sure that we've got good, clean energy, and it's not giving us all kinds of highs and lows. And that's where, talking about the glycemic index, you'll hear, different Plexus people talk about the glycemic index. And that's just a value that's given to foods. You've got high and low glycemic index, depending on how fast or slow, okay, your body uses it. So something with a low glycemic index, like green vegetables, okay, they digest slowly. And they don't really affect our glucose levels, right? They don't increase it, okay? And one of the things that I think about is I was always on the hunt for low glycemic sugars to bake and not necessarily cook with. I don't really use a lot of sugar there. But I mean, I must have tried 15 different stevias before I found one that I thought was good, because that's a low glycemic. It's a natural alternative. Different low glycemic sugars that Plexus uses. We've got monk fruit, we've got honey powder, and one that I have learned to use in baking is coconut palm sugar, because it has a low glycemic index. That's what we want. We don't want it to affect our glucose levels. Whereas if you're eating like white bread or rice or Pop-Tarts or whatever it is, really refined is what sugars is what I think about. It increases our blood glucose levels, and you know, and then you've got these, if you've got high glycemic index foods, you get this really like a sugar high crash afterwards. And because it doesn't have the fiber in it that it usually that we need to feel full, right? And it digests really fast in your system, and before you know it, an hour later you're starving. Have you ever noticed that? Like if you're hungry and you grab chips, like that does not satisfy us. It doesn't keep us full. It just it goes right through us. And so because of the sugars, okay? So what we, again, we want more protein in our nutrition daily, because that is going to keep us fuller, okay? But let's face it, okay, cutting carbs can be hard sometimes, all right? We've just come out of a holiday season that really, let's just call it what it is. It started in October, okay? Not just November, not just December, not just New Year's. We just came out of a whole sugar high, right? So trying to maintain healthy blood sugars is really important, right? So what we want to do is we want to minimize the effects of the carbs and the sugars that we eat, and then enter balance. Okay, so Plexus has created balance. It's a capsule that you take, and I'll talk a little bit more about how you take it. And really, it's, you know, they say three, I'm saying 2 to 3 different ways in which a balance provides a blood sugar support um, for carb control for us. Okay. Because let's face it, we want balance in our life. What do we tell people? Our supplements are tools. We're always looking for tools to help support us. So it's going to minimize those unwanted blood sugar spikes that we have, okay? Because it's going to slow the absorption of carbs and sugars in our body, okay? So what that does is that just gives us a steady release of sugar, of energy, okay? If we slow that digestion down, okay? So it balance is also going to reduce the absorption of carbs, okay? Leaving them undigested, which is what we really want, being slowly broken down, so it slowly releases glucose into the body. And then it helps the body move you know, efficiently and manage the glucose levels. All right. And again, so you don't have those peaks and valleys. So I really, they, they will say at least 3 different ways that balance affects it. But to me, minimizing the blood spikes is kind of the same as efficiently managing it in your body so you don't have those spikes. And the other thing is, you know, after you eat a high carb meal, you like crash, like and sometimes you're bloated, really. It will minimize that as well, okay? Because again, we want a tool, we don't want to deprive ourselves. And so let's see. The best way to take balance, okay, the 2 capsules, is before your largest carb meal. Now, you can take it at other times, but that is the best way to take it according to the director of product research. And so, but he has also said that you can take it 2 times a day. So it doesn't, it's still going to help your body with blood sugar levels, but it works really well on your largest meal or a high carb meal. Say you're going out to dinner, right? Take your balance before you head out, and then you don't have to stress out like, oh goodness, we're going to an Italian restaurant or something, I'm having pasta, or oh goodness, I'm going to have some apple pie for dessert or something like that. And so you're going to have those 2 before your largest meal. You can have up to 4. So one of the things that balance is doing, okay, it's inhibiting the production of two specific enzymes, okay, that are responsible for breaking down the carbs, okay? So your body can just better utilize them. I'm going to tell you what they are, but you don't have to remember them, just so you know. It's alpha amylase and alpha glucosidase. And here's the thing, sometimes they're called A amylase and A glucosidase, but it just know that it's inhibiting two different enzymes. You don't have to know that. I'm just telling you because it's just good to know. And what we found, okay, is why balance became really popular. So you've got that part, okay, inhibiting the breakdown of the carbs and sugars. Well, you pair that with Slim Hunger Control, whose fiber and prebiotic is polydextrose, and that then stimulates polydextrose, then stimulates the production of a hormone which has become very popular, GLP-1. But really, that's just your just call it your full factor. It tells you about your satiety, like it tells your body that it's full. So you take that with balance, and it's a great combination. Even better with triplex, right? So I'm not going to go into everything. I just wanted to throw that out there because that's something that's very common right now and being used for managing weight, right? So really, so balance is going to give us flexibility with reaching weight goals, okay? And it's really convenient to be able to take 2 capsules to do that. Again, a very simple tool to use. And something that I found really interesting is that the average American consumes 152 pounds of sugar a year. They say that that's 3 pounds a week. That's 6 cups. It's crazy. But if you think about it, that sounds like a lot, but break it down into 7 days. You've got your 6 cups. Sugar is hidden everywhere. Okay. So anyway, I just thought that was just an interesting fact. So balance is gonna just maintain your blood glucose levels. It's gonna delay that digestion of and the absorption of the carbs and sugars. And you know, that therefore helps you with your calorie intake, right? And it's for you to help reach your goals, okay? And a question that people will ask is, does balance interfere with the absorption of nutrients? You might get that question. Well, if it's blocking the carbs and sugars and slowing them down and inhibiting that enzyme, well, what about nutrients? But it does not. So really, it reduces the absorption of those carbs and sugars, right? But it does not block any of the beneficial nutrients like proteins, vitamins, minerals. So you're minimizing your glycemic index, but you're still able to ingest your healthy nutrients from the foods that you are eating. Like, how cool is that? So let's see. The other thing, okay, so and it's gluten-free. It doesn't have nuts, soy, yeast, or dairy. Okay, so that's super helpful as well. And I know that Plexus really tries you know, I think everything is gluten-free. But I mean, don't hold me to that, but they really try to be free of common allergens, okay? All right, and I'm just going to kind of read to you just because you're probably thinking, well, what is in balance? So I'm just going to give you a little bit of detail. So there's white kidney bean extract, and that's uncooked white kidney beans. And that is just, so again, a little bit of geeking out, but that is a special type of a glycoprotein, and that is what is inhibiting the that enzyme, that A amylase. Okay, so you've got the white kidney bean extract, and they also have common bean extract. So that's what that's that special type of a glycoprotein. Then there's cinnamon bark extract. Oh my gosh, I love cinnamon. I put cinnamon in my coffee every day. Cinnamon is so good. And so cinnamon is really known for its polyphenols. And that really helps with balancing your endocrine system, and your hormonal response to food. So that is in there as well, because that also helps keep your blood sugars within the normal range. Okay. And then mulberry leaf extract. There is a lot of big words for mulberry extract, but it is abundant in what they call DNJ. And that inhibits the enzyme. So, it's put together, it's very simple. You've got 4 ingredients, kind of like our Ease is very simple but very effective 4 ingredients. And so, and one more question that people will ask is what's the difference between Block and Balance? And Block has different ingredients. Balance is definitely superior in keeping your blood sugars balanced. And just because of the change in the ingredients, Block had chromium in it. That was like in our pink drink, but of course there are different ingredients in Balance. I just read you, and it does have white coffee bean extract, but at the time when Block was created, brown seaweed is what was also used. But there's iodine in Block, and some people iodine is good for, and some people iodine is not. So, but Balance is definitely a superior product. So that's kind of your summary for Balance. Nothing crazy. It's very simple. It's going to help you maintain your weight in an efficient manner, and works very well with gut health, right? We're balancing our blood sugars. We want to focus on those 3 pillars of health: reducing inflammation, and working on our gut health. So that's what I have for you. I hope that this was super helpful, and I'm going to stop the recording now.